Happy Thursday. Endomorph, you have it hard. You have it very hard. Okay, so I was watching this TED Talk over a year ago, and doctor, physicist, something was going over how fat leaves the body. And for most of you that don't know, or whoever, you don't know. You just don't know. Breathing out is how the majority of the fat that you're burning off through fat oxidation leaves your body through carbon dioxide. You breathe out. He took this, all these chemicals, and what it did is it changed the carbon dioxide leaving your body into like this powder form, so you could see like the mass of it. And he breathed that a couple times into breathed out only, so it filled up a bag, and then he did this chemical thing to it, and then you could see this powder at the end of the bag. Well, that's basically CO2 or carbon dioxide leaving your body, and then it has part of that is your fat stores if you're in a fat burning stage. Insulin levels aren't up, So breathing out, heavy breathing in, getting oxygen, breathing out. That's what really accelerates fat burning. So what I'm going to stress to you is this: is HIIT cardio great? Yes, but like I've said in the past, HIIT cardio is something that I love doing. I love running. I've always been a runner. I just love running. I've always loved it. It's just it's a passion. But I want to lift weights. I want to get stronger. So I can't run and lift weights and not be responsible for the protein intake that I want to have, that I need to have, and the carbohydrate. I'm in a deficit right now. I'm eating in a deficit, and I keep my carbs very low. I can't run and lift and not consistently keep my glycogen stores totally burnt out and expect to make gains strength wise and continue to stay healthy and not get an injury. So I don't do HIIT cardio anymore. I love it, but I can't do it because just the physical necessity. I cannot eat enough and eat the way that I would need to eat to fuel my body to be efficient at that, for the duration of my cut. I would burn out or injure myself, one or the other. So I'm always talking about this walking every day, like rolling hills, walking. But this is what I'm gonna tell you: if you really want to accelerate everything, add in, start at like a minute, jump rope for like a minute every morning, 7 days a week, no days off, and just work it up, maybe like adding 10 seconds a week, adding 10 seconds a week, till you work your way up to 3 to 5 minutes, and you're just, jumping rope, and you do that first thing in the morning, empty stomach. Maybe you have a little bit of coffee if you're a coffee drinker before you go outside and do it, but you could do that right at your house, anywhere. You go outside, you could jump rope, wear something warm, get out there, jump rope for just 1 minute. Like I said, every day, 1 minute, and then every 7 days on that like 8th day, you add 10 seconds, and then you'll just slowly work your way up. That's gonna get your heart rate up and get you breathing, see, every day. And then if you're gonna walk, do more, like hills, find some place where your walk is gonna be a lot of hills. It's good to do the rolling hills. I don't have any problem with it, but I tell you what, it's a big difference when, I hit those hills, like those steep hills. I'm breathing way more. I'm panting way more. My lungs, aren't necessarily on fire like when I sprint, but the necessity is there for me to have to breathe more, breathe harder, and more breaths, more, as far as the tempo of breathing. So, those are some nice little tips, just to accelerate things. My plan personally is to walk the same walk that I do right now. I want to do HIIT cardio so bad because, like I said, I love it, but I'm just gonna like tame myself down, you know, I'm just gonna do the walk that I do all the time. I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna walk in my sauna suit the same way I always have. You know, early morning, freezing cold, clean air, because there's not many cars out there, and I'm just gonna lift. It's easy on my lower back. You know, I'm gonna introduce riding here really soon. The weather's starting to get a little bit better, so I'm gonna start riding maybe twice a week, because you know, we'll see. Because I like to do 2-3 days a week when the weather's nicer. When the weather's cold, it's kind of hard. But introduce the riding back in, a couple days a week at the most, one couple days, you know, at the very most, you know, and then hopefully I can get to, you know, like where I plateaued at the last time I cut. I'm doing my cut different this time, but and then when I get there to that plateau, that's when I'll start jump roping and doing the HIIT cardio and all that stuff when I'm lighter, so it'll be easier to do it, you know, on my body. Hopefully by then I'll be stronger, because the weeks go by with progressive overload, I naturally get stronger because I'm adding weight to the bar every single week. And you know, the weight will come down, my relative strength will go up, so hopefully running will be much easier. It will be. I've ran it the way that I'm going to, you know, that I have right now in mind, and it was like it was nothing. You know, if I run right now, it'll be, you know, it'll be not necessarily like a challenge, because I can run it the weight I'm at right now. I've been this weight, but way more of a challenge than the weight that I'm thinking about. I mean, when I was at the weight that I'm thinking about, I was just like, it was easy to run, easy. You know, I could work a lot harder than I could right now, and just, you know, and just feel better about the workout. So when I'm at that weight and I hit a plateau, then I'll start pulling out all these little, like, you know, tricks, you know, like the jump roping every single day. You know, by then I'll probably have to jump rope 3 minutes because I'll be lighter. And so, you know, and introduce the HIIT cardio maybe twice a week or 3 days a week. That'll really cut the rest of that fat off. But see, I don't want to use that right now, because it's like, why even use it? You know, why use? My eating's great. I'm only carb backloading. I'm not having any sweets, even fruit at night. I'm having all, you know, either nuts or steamed vegetables. Steamed vegetables, or nuts at night. That's what I'm having. I'm not having any carbs, except for maybe the little bit of complex carbs that are in the nuts at night. That's nothing, okay? As far as like spiking my insulin, it's not happening in the evening time. That little bit of spike that I have during the day, you know, I have, you know, fruit with my shakes, you know, so that's carbohydrates, you know, so my insulin's up then, but that helps with protein absorption, because I'm trying to, you know, maximize protein absorption. And then, you know, 2 of those shakes with fruit, and right after the work I have the corn tortillas or the sweet potatoes, and that's the only carbohydrates I intake. You know, so, you know, because like I said, man, you know, 300 calories, you know, if Endomorph, if you're eating over 300 calories of carbohydrates per day, you know, 4 pounds, 4 grams per pound, you know, you're going to be in a very, you know, challenging situation sooner or later with fat stores. You know, it will catch up with you. I just gained 20 pounds myself, you know, just, you know, dirty bulking, not really watching what I was eating. I put on 20 pounds in just over 6 months. It took for me to gain 20 pounds, just over 6 months. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, I gained strength, but you know, I wish I wouldn't have done it the way that I did now. You know, when I was doing it, I felt like, you know, the only thing that I felt like was really good about making the decision to actually do it that way was the fact that, you know, I was lessening the chances of gaining an injury. So, you know, that I benefited that way. But, you know, as far as like, you know, weight gain is concerned, I'm very unhappy with the weight that I've put on, you know, excessively unhappy. So, you know, got to get it off, which isn't a problem, but, you know, it's just, you know, more time that you're spending, you know, burning fat rather than playing at your craft or your art. As I've said before, you know, the only reason why I'm losing weight is because of my back. You know, body composition changes because of my lower back injury, which is always going to be with me. Always, you know, painful to an extent, you know, depending on the day. And, you know, to increase my skills for the art that I do, freeboarding. You know, as I've said before, I teach jiu-jitsu, but I don't train jiu-jitsu anymore. My back can't take it, the rotation. You know, I'm surprised that my back can take the rotation of freeboarding, but I'm very careful when I ride, and I do a very good job of working, you know, on my stabilization and my core and everything like that. You know, I'm not gonna say that I'm never hurt after I ride, but, you know, there's days, especially in the summer, I can ride, you know, when it's warm out and I feel loose and I walk during the morning and everything, and then I go ride after that. You know, I could ride, you know, a couple days, you know, 3 days out of the week, and my back, you know, rarely will flare up at all, you know. But in the wintertime, nope. In the wintertime, if I ride once a week, it's like everything is, you know, recovering for days, and my back can be irritated very easily because it's so worn down from the effort that it's had to put towards the mechanics that are required to ride the freeboard. You know, and I'm not like great at riding, so, you know, I don't have the efficiencies of like a pro level rider. They know how to, like, you know, ride smooth and not have to incorporate as many muscles and, you know, and tire themselves out the way that I do. So, you know, there's a lack in skill there too that I'm trying to achieve, you know, and, you know, every time you're not riding, you're not achieving that. So, but yeah, so the video is going super long today, but whatever, I'm out of here. Happy Thursday, and yes, do not burn out those tips in the beginning if you don't have to. The incline walking, you know, use that right now if you can. It's difficult, I'm not gonna lie, you know, but, you know, walking up hills, that you know, that's what's gonna get you. That's what's gonna get you breathing hard. And doing the when you hit a plateau, you pull out the HIIT cardio, you know, pull out the jump rope, and start, you know, maximizing the, you know, that heart rate, getting your heart rate up to you know, 170, 180, you know, in burst. You know, that will burn so much fat, and your plateau will be smashed probably within 2-3 weeks, 21 days, I'd say, maximum of you doing that at least every other day. Once you hit your plateau, 21 days, 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off of the HIIT cardio, but doing the jump rope for those minutes that you're working up from a minute, adding 10 seconds on a week. You know, if you do that every day for 21 days and do the sprints, yeah, that plateau will get smashed. Happy Thursday.